In the narrative of American politics, few figures have embodied the paradox of ambition and disdain quite like Nebraska's Governor Pete Ricketts. With his eyes set on the ultimate prize, the presidency of the United States, Ricketts has turned his political positions into a theatrical performance, where Nebraska serves not as his home state to nurture, but as a political trampoline to bounce him towards higher office. Pete Ricketts, despite the veneer of public service, harbors a deep-seated contempt for Nebraska. Growing up in its expanse did not endear him to its people or culture. Rather, it provided him with a convenient platform from which he could launch his national aspirations. His strategy is clear: use Nebraska as a stepping stone, a place to garner enough support to prove his political viability. But beneath the surface of his campaign smiles and the hollow promises, Ricketts' true feelings for Nebraska and its citizens drip with disdain. He believes himself intellectually superior, a fallacy masked by his considerable wealth but not by any genuine merit or intellect. Ricketts' political playbook reads like a failed masterclass in manipulation. He lies with a practiced ease, not because he must, but because he relishes the control it affords him over those he deems lesser. His daily speeches during what he and others know to be a manufactured crisis became not a moment of leadership, but a stage for his deceit. He would advocate for social distancing while standing in close quarters with his aides, preach the importance of masks without wearing one himself, all while his eyes sparkled with a silent mockery of his own rules. This hypocrisy isn't just a quirk, it's a calculated move. Ricketts needs Nebraskans to believe in him, to vote for him, to speak well of him to the rest of America. If Nebraska, with its conservative heartland values, endorses him, then his presidential bid gains a veneer of authenticity. He's playing a long game, where Nebraska's vote is not just about local governance but about his national image. His disdain for the state is masked by a fake smile, a feigned interest in their well-being, all while he plots his next move towards power. Truth is, Ricketts despises not just Nebraska but the very idea of serving others. His ambition to control, to rule over the masses, stems from a desire not to lead but to dominate. He sees presidency not as a duty to guide and protect, but as a throne from which he can continue his game of lies and power. Each policy, each speech, each public appearance is tinged with the same underlying motive: to hurt, to control, to elevate himself by belittling others. Pete Ricketts is not just another politician with presidential dreams. He's a symbol of political cynicism at its worst. He's a man who would sell his soul for a vote, who would watch his state suffer under the weight of his lies if it meant a step closer to the White House. Nebraska, in his hands, is not just governed, it's used, manipulated for a broader, more sinister ambition. His lies serve not the people but his ego, his need to be seen as something he isn't, a leader when in reality, he's a liar with a one-way ticket to infamy, riding on the backs of those he pretends to serve.